Hi everyone, so this is your anchor task for Tuesday's lesson. I am attempting to record this with a cat on my knee, so I'm hoping it's not going to be too much of an issue. We'll see how it goes. So, we've got a new objective today to multiply one-digit numbers with up to 2 decimal places by whole numbers. So essentially, we're multiplying a decimal number by a whole number. So the question is, what would the width of 3 fence panels be? So if you have a look at our picture here, the width of one complete fence panel is 2.6 meters. So we need to find out the width of 3 of them. Your supporting hands up here is hopefully helpful. So we've got the total width and we've got 3 lots of 2.6. So think about what calculation you need to do. As I've said to you before, pause the video, have a go, and then listen to me talk through it on the next slide in a moment. You'd have a go on your own in class, so you need to be doing that while you're at home as well. There's also a challenge to have a look at down here. Each individual plank has a height of 0.58 meters. So I've tried to show that here. So less than a meter, 0.58 meters. What is the height of the whole fence panel? You need to count how many of these individual planks there are, and then each one is 0.58. Think about your objective. Think about what you are going to do with those two numbers. Okay, so make sure you've paused and had a go, and I'm going to move on to the slide to go through it. So the first bit, we should be doing 2.6 meters times by 3. Now I've set it out with the 3 underneath the 2 here, but there is just a little note. It actually doesn't matter where you put the number that you're multiplying by. It really doesn't matter too much. I've put down here, put it in the column that makes you feel better. So I've put it in the ones column. If that makes you feel better, do the same. Although actually I've put it in the 1 column. You know what I mean. Oh my. So I've set this up already with the lines and I've put the decimal point in for us here. So just like you would do with a normal column multiplication, I'm going to do the 3 times by the 10th column. It's not the ones column, the 10th column. So I'm going to do 3 times 6 to start with. So 3 times 6, I'm fairly certain is 18. I'm not putting anything near the decimal point. At 1, I am exchanging 1 of the tenths, 10 tenths for 1 1. Okay, so I'm exchanging 10 tenths for 1 1. I can't put an 18 here. So then I need to do 3 times 2, and that is just 2 whole ones. 3 times 2 is 6, and don't forget your 1 over here. So we end up with 7. So the answer for the first one was 7.8 meters. The second one, hopefully if you counted those little individual planks, there were 7 of them. So we're doing 0.58 for the height times by 7. I've put the 7, you'll notice, over here this time, just to show you that it really doesn't matter where that number goes, the number that you're multiplying by, it doesn't matter. I've put the decimal point in, it's in a square on its own. I strongly suggest you do the same and put it down first so you don't forget that you're in a decimal number. So we do 7 times 8 to start with. 7 times 8 is 56. I might just take a moment now to remind you that you should be on Times Table Rockstars for at least 20 minutes a day. Half an hour since you're at home would be absolutely amazing. Get yourself on Rockstars, get practicing. You need to know these inside out by the time you get to year 7. Well, actually, by the time you get to year 4, so we're long past that. Then we do 7 times 5 is 35. Add on the 5 is 40. Now, just a little note about what I've done here. So we did 8 times 7 is 56. So the 6 goes into the hundredths column. And then we exchange 50 hundredths for 5 tenths. Okay? So then we end up with the 5 over here. So we've now got 5 in the tenths column already. So we are saying to ourselves then, the 5 times 7 is 5 tenths times 7. And then we're adding on the 5, which gets us to 40 tenths. Now 40 tenths, we can put the 0 down in the tenths column and exchange then those 40 tenths for 4 ones. Complicated, but actually it's just the same as you do on a normal multiplication without a decimal. It's just slightly more tricky to explain the exchange, and that's all it is. 0 times 7, please people, is not 7, it's 0. And then just remember about that 4 that we've put over there. Oh, sorry, that was a bit dodgy. So we end up with 4. So I'm just going to write that out again. So it's 4.06 meters, and that was our height for the challenge. Okay, I shall be back with another video for the main bit of your guided task.